Part 169. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1681. Lord Mokashi. Lord Mokashi. Master Xiao Yui. A group of people rushed over from a distance, appearing extremely urgent. Because the distance is relatively far, I can't hear what I'm saying. The whole army is on alert. Could it be that the army of the Temple of Light sent it to the door? Xiao Yui, head of the 707th chapter of the Dark Knight Legion, said with more and more smiles on his face. Now he was talking, nodding his head secretly, his eyes became excited and urgent. Feelings seemed particularly real in a way. Kill me. Xiao Yui waved his hand, already planning to attack with the whole army. Etc. It's ours. The uniforms they are wearing, are the uniforms of the soldiers of the Black Temple. Mokashi waved his hand to stop Xiao Yui's reckless behavior. At the same time, he silently stared at the distance, with a somewhat strange feeling on his face. What are the soldiers of the Dark Temple rushing to him for? Could it be that the higher UPS knew about their sneaking out? Are these people here to stop him from leaving? If this is the case, this matter will become more difficult. If you are not careful, some accidents may happen. After all, they didn't send troops justifiably, and if the higher UPS really pursued it, he really couldn't afford it. Look at my wink and act later. I killed them all. We came out to encircle the spies of the Light Camp. Don't say anything else. Whoever reveals plans and secrets to me, I will abolish him. Mokashi snorted coldly, the threatening expression on his face was very real. The surrounding people were silent, and now that the acting Cardinal Dark Envoy had spoken, what else could they do? Naturally, I can only continue to lie. Mo. Master Mokaxi, Master Xiao Yui. Something happened. The branch hall was destroyed, the entire Demon Heart City, was destroyed, it was gone. After the soldiers from the Dark Camp who came rushing over said this, they immediately fell on the deck of the battleship, and couldn't help but start to twitch, apparently with too much force. Mokashi, who was originally smiling, was stunned for a moment. This was a little different from his expectation. At this moment, no matter how slow his reaction was, he knew something serious was going on. Impossible. Who dares to destroy the temple branch? Are you lying to me? Say. Who asked you to deceive me? You bastard. How dare you deceive me? Get up. Speak. Mokashi's eyeballs instantly turned blood red, and then he viciously grabbed the soldier of the Dark faction who was limp on the deck of the battleship, and then asked viciously. Puff. Because of the continuous movements, this soldier of the Dark Camp was a little overwhelmed, so he spit out a mouthful of blood and died. Waste. Mokashi indifferently threw the body of the dead soldier of the Dark Camp off the battleship flying high in the sky, and finally cursed. Tell me, what's going on? Mokashi squinted his eyes, his killing intent completely exploded. The seriousness of the matter far exceeded his accident, and if he was a little careless, he would lose everything. The few surviving soldiers of the Dark Camp were silent, and they dared not say a word. Everyone knows that if you speak now, you will most likely become the target of this Lord Mokashi's revenge. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1682. Say. Say something. Are they all dumb? Say it. Tell me. Tell me what happened to the branch hall? Is there anything wrong? Damn. Can you make it clear to me? Make it clear. Don't you know what I'm telling you? As Mokashi, the acting Cardinal of the Dark Temple, spoke, his eyeballs turned blood red. In fact, He already knew what the result would be in his heart, but he still couldn't believe it, so he could only growl to make himself feel more at ease. Silence is the best lamb. For these soldiers from the dark camp who had escaped from the Demon Heart City, they were now regretful. After escaping from Demon Heart City back then, he should have run away directly. What kind of army came to find? Now isn't this just out of the wolf's den and into the tiger's mouth? Simply not too difficult. Don't talk. Do you take my words as deaf ears? He, you can. Damn it. Are you looking down on me? Bastard. You bastard. Who made you look down on me? Who allowed you to look down on me? The roar was endless, and Mokashi fell into a madness, and then directly raised two soldiers of the dark camp with each hand, and then put his hands together with force, and directly collided the two soldiers of the dark camp. In an instant, the heads of the two soldiers from the dark camp were like shattered watermelons, with blood and brains spurting all over the ground, and the scene was extremely horrifying and terrifying. Everyone gasped, and they didn't know what to say at this moment. Emo. Master Makaxe, it's the army of the light camp, yes. It's the army of the light camp stationed on Xingyu Island. I've seen their banner. It's the 308th Bronze Legion of the Azure Dragon Legion. Yes. That's right. This is it. Lord Makaxe, there are too many of them. There are only 2 Black Iron level legions in Demon Heart City. We really can't hold on. And they launched a sneak attack suddenly, we didn't even have time to react. Master Mokashi, let us go, we will continue to fight for you. The few surviving soldiers of the dark camp were completely panicked. While talking at the moment, they quickly knelt down on the ground and kowtowed like garlic, full of panic in their words. They just want to survive, but now it seems that it is really too difficult. This wave after wave made them feel like their scalps were tingling. Bright Camp, Azure Dragon Legion 308 Bronze Legion. Asshole. A mere Bronze Legion dares to destroy the branch of my temple. Kill. Must kill. Makaxe's face was already blood red, which is a great shame. In addition to anger, there is also an extremely strong sense of panic. The branch of the temple is destroyed, and he, the head of the branch of the temple, is naturally inseparable. This time, not to mention getting the word acting in front, I'm afraid it's not certain whether he can keep the title of Deputy Second Rank Acting Cardinal Dark Envoy. Her Majesty the Pope entrusted me to take care of the branch hall, and asked me to promote the faith for the dark gods and win over believers. This is trust in me, but now everything is gone, nothing is gone. The branch hall is destroyed, and the sculptures of the dark gods are gone. This is blasphemy. Huh, the dark gods will completely abandon me. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 1683. Mokashi's body trembled, his eyes looked into the air, and the corners of his mouth twitched more and more. At this moment, the idea in his heart gradually took off, and he was completely at a loss. The sense of fear continues to deepen. Lord Mokashi, or we will just keep doing it and ignore these things. As long as we can reach the Holy City of Light earlier and make great achievements in the battle to capture the Holy City of Light, everything will be fine. Wiggle room. Xiao Yui, head of the 707th chapter of the Dark Knight Legion, rolled his eyes, and then continued to fool around. In his opinion, it doesn't make much sense to go back now. The big deal is to clean up the mess, which is meaningless and worthless. Instead of this, it is better to go to the Holy City of Light that you have been thinking about, and set up a battle in the Holy City of Light. Then this sin is not a big problem. It's you. You were the one who fooled me last time. You told me to lead the elite of Demon Heart City to the holy city of light. You said there would be no accidents. What should I do now? An accident happened. It's over. Phew, damn. Damn bastard. Xiaoyue. Gritting his teeth, Mokashi yelled, and while yelling, his eyeballs straightened up, as if he was going to charge straight up. Master Mokashi, this matter has indeed something to do with me, but if you don't have the slightest heart, and you don't have the slightest greed, how will it evolve into what it is now? The reason why it became like this, do you really have no point in your heart? To put it bluntly, this was just an accident. Who would have known that the Bronze Legion stationed in the Bright Camp on Xingyu Island would dare to attack and kill us? It's beyond their control. Everything was an accident. What needs to be done now is to remedy, not hold anyone accountable here. Xiaoyue, the head of the 707th chapter of the Dark Knight Legion, did not hesitate this time, and directly slammed it hard. Makaxa froze for a moment, as if he couldn't believe Xiaoyue's attitude. But immediately he also fell into deep thought. This matter still has to be resolved after all. The branch hall has been destroyed, and the greatest remedy that can be done is actually to wipe out all the troops of the light camp. Perhaps in this way, some impression points can be won under the Pope's crown. Mokashi glanced around, thinking to himself. His narrowed eyes became more calm. But when he saw Xiaoyue's figure, the anger that had been suppressed with great difficulty exploded again in an instant. He, you were the one who sowed discord in this matter from the beginning to the end. I will truthfully report this matter to His Majesty the Pope. You are greedy for merit. You dragged me into the water. Asshole. Asshole. Why don't you die? I misjudged you at the beginning. Why didn't I see your wolfish ambition? On weekdays, I am respectful in front of my eyes, but I didn't expect to think about these crooked things. Mokashi let out roars one after another, and as the roars became stronger, the anger on Mokashi's face rose to the extreme. Snapped. A loud slap sounded, and Mokashi slapped directly on the face of Xiaoyue, the commander of the 707th chapter of the Dark Knight Legion. It was extremely loud. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 1684. At first, Xiaoyue really didn't care about anything, and felt that everything was still within the controllable range, but gradually, his expression changed. He was slapped. As for being abused, he just pretended that he didn't hear it. It's not a big deal anyway, but now that he's done it, he needs to talk about it. Mokashi acting Cardinal Dark Angel, do you know what you are doing? I am the Dark Knight Legion. Snapped. Another slap came, and Xiaoyue felt the pain from both sides of his cheeks, which made him have the urge and idea to go crazy. What's the matter if I slap you? I am the acting Cardinal of the Temple, the Dark God Envoy. What kind of thing are you? A battle group leader. Overestimate your own strength. Even if you are the head of the Dark Knight Legion, give me some face. Mokashi took a deep breath, and felt an inexplicable sense of pleasure at this moment, which was gathering crazily, making him gradually feel a sense of bliss. The sense of chaos in my heart gradually disappeared a lot. Perhaps violence itself is a good means of venting. Mokashi, I warn you. Snapped. Clap clap. Before Xiaoyue could finish his sentence, the continuous slaps sounded again. Xiaoyue took a deep breath, and his eyeballs instantly turned blood red. He slapped once or twice, and he endured it. The overall situation is the most important. But 3 or 4 times, still bear a hammer. Mokashi. You forced me to do this. Grass. What the hell are you? Snapped. Xiaoyue drew back directly, and his eyeballs gradually became vicious. Do you dare to hit me? Mokashi, deputy second-rank acting cardinal of the Dark Temple, was stunned for a moment, and he didn't react too much. Before that, Xiaohuryui had always looked like a pug in front of him, and he subconsciously regarded Xiaohuryui as his foot. A dog next to. But now the dog started to make a fuss, a little disobedient, a little careless. This guy wanted to break free from the rein, and ran away completely freely. The sullen expression on Mokashi's face became more and more. "I kill you!" Mokashi roared, and then launched a full-scale attack. Hee. Makaxe. Aren't you just a 5-star sanctuary? Do you really think you are someone? The cultivation base of this battle group leader is no worse than yours. The leader of this battle has also been promoted to the 5-star sanctuary realm. Come on. Let's see whether you will die or I will live today. Fight hard once. The practitioners of my Dark Knight Legion have never been cowards. Xiaohuryui, the head of the 707th chapter of the Dark Knight Legion, roared, and immediately his 5-star sanctuary realm cultivation base burst out. Although the realm seemed a little unstable, the cultivation base was real. Mokashi on the side froze for a moment, then silently lowered his face. In fact, from his point of view, he originally wanted to crush Xiaohuryui by relying on his advantages in realm, and then vented his anger. But now that Xiaohuryui has been promoted and is still a member of the Dark Knight Legion, what he is best at is fighting. Although the state is still a little unstable, Makaxe is still a little panicked if he really wants to fight. For a senior priest like him, pampered and used to it, pulling him to fight, it's too difficult. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 1685. Xiaohuryui. I order you to put down your weapon. Then slap yourself 100 times. You bastard, you dare to wield knives and guns in front of me, what exactly are you trying to do? Even if you have been promoted to the 5-star sanctuary, so what? In front of me, you are still worthless. If you obey orders today, forget it, otherwise, I will withdraw your position as chapter commander. Mokashi took a breath, and then said with a livid face, at this time, he can't pay attention to so many unreasonable conditions, but he must keep his face, otherwise how can he continue to mess around in the future? He also wanted to find a step to let himself down. Makaxe has made up his mind, as long as Xiaohuryui is willing to lay down his arms, he will take advantage of the trend and make peace. Remove my position as chapter master. I'm afraid you're not good enough. I belong directly to the Dark Knight Legion, and you have no right to send me. Before, I was only sent to guard the branch of your temple, and guarding the branch is my duty. Now that the branch hall has been destroyed because of your stupidity, you have no right to dispatch me. Brothers, come with me. Let's not be so angry. The sky is high for birds to fly. The sea is wide for fish to leap. We don't believe it. Can you still float in front of me? Xiaohuryui shouted loudly, and the 10,000 soldiers under his command naturally followed suit, each of them rushed behind him, ready to leave with him. Xiaohuryui. Are you trying to rebel? You openly disobeyed my order, I can kill you directly. Mokashi's face is black, and now he is in a state of completely tearing his face, so naturally he doesn't need to save the other party's face, because these are really just bullshit. Kill me? Come on. Do you dare? If you really want to fight, I can kill the 2 bronze legions under your command without any effort. In addition, you are not my opponent. Shall I make up another plan? I beheaded all of you first, and then I said that I was ambushed by the army of the Light Camp, you died in battle. At least you can still keep your reputation as a hero, how about it? My deal is a good deal, right? Xiaohuryui, head of the 707th chapter of the Dark Knight Legion, said with more and more sarcasm on his face. Mokashi's lips trembled, he had completely exploded. Shame. What a shame. The destruction of the branch hall of the temple is already extremely shameful, and now even the soldiers under his command have begun to rebel? The saddest thing is that he is really powerless. Mokashi stood there silently, his back molars were gradually bitten into powder. He subconsciously took back those pretentious words before, and now if he really rushed to fight Xiaoyue and a full-fledged battle group under his command, Mokashi would not be sure of victory. Xiaoyue's full-scale battle group belongs to the Dark Knight Legion, and this is the most elite existence in the entire Dark Temple. Seeing the full-stacked battle group led by Xiaoyue march away, Mokashi forced himself to divert his attention, otherwise it would be really easy to be directly pissed off, and he couldn't stand it for a minute. A bunch of trash. Cowards. When this matter is over, I will definitely clean up you. Mokashi took a deep breath, with resentment directly on his face. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 1686. But he didn't dare to pounce on it now, he still had some concerns. After all, Xiaoyue has already been promoted to the 5-star sanctuary at this moment. If it really starts, it is still unknown who will die. Such a state is here, more or less frightening. Everyone, come back to Demon Heart City with me. Kill those soldiers of the light camp who dared to destroy the temple branch. Kill. 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 Mokashi, the acting cardinal of the Dark Temple, gave a cold shout, and the extreme hatred and killing were revealed in the depths of his eyes. This feeling gradually became real, and began to expand little by little. The thoughts became empty, and the anger also exploded completely. The branch of the temple under his control was destroyed, and he, the person in charge, was most responsible. All he could do now was atone for his sins as much as possible. If the group of cholera cultivators from the light camp were all wiped out, they would more or less gain a chance for themselves. Mokashi thought to himself, his eyes narrowed silently, and his thoughts gradually emptied. After 1 hour. My lord, there are 2 Bronze Legion troops from the Dark Camp rushing forward, and they are heading towards Demon Heart City. According to the tongue we captured, it is indeed the 205th and 209th Bronze Legion of the Ghost Legion of the Dark Faction, that is, the Dark Faction army that was stationed in Demon Heart City before. They should have gotten the news that the branch of the Dark Temple in Demon Heart City was destroyed, so they rushed back. Satan led the Abyss Demon General's army back, and while speaking, the expression on his face gradually became more solemn. Interesting. Fang Fan smiled indifferently, and the elite of Demon Heart City who had disappeared for a long time reappeared. It's just that the timing of the appearance is a bit awkward. If these troops had been stationed in Demon Heart City, it would not have been so easy for Fang Fan to destroy the branch of the Dark Temple. As for now, everything is over. For Fang Fan, his strategic plan has been completed, the branch of the Dark Temple in Demon Heart City has been destroyed, and everything has been settled. There is no need to talk about other things. My lord, or else we'd better avoid it, as long as we go back from other directions, we can avoid this direct confrontation. According to the previous intelligence, this is a full-fledged battle group consisting of 2 Bronze Legions in the Dark Camp plus a Dark Knight Legion. In addition to those clergymen from the Dark Temple branch of Demon Heart City, their combat effectiveness is not bad. We may not be able to hold on. Hao Yun took a deep breath, and secretly stepped forward to suggest. From his point of view, this loss should be resolved in this way. From a certain point of view, if such a disposal method can be realized, it can indeed meet a lot of losses. That's too late. Although our scouts are more alert, after so long, the scouts from the dark camp should have discovered us. If you escape now, the army of the dark camp will definitely pursue. At that time, when the enemy's forward army attacks, we are very likely to be bitten to death. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes silently, and fell into deep thought in his heart, already thinking about various solutions at this moment. At least at this time, don't panic. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1687. Master, I am willing to lead the 3rd Black Iron Legion to stay and stop the enemy. To cover the retreat of the large army. 308 Mo Sang, head of the 3rd Black Iron Legion of the Bronze Legion, said sincerely. As he spoke, bright rays of light flickered in his eyes. Such thoughts were churning in his mind, and they had completely exploded. He wanted to kill himself, to protect Fang Fan and the 308th Bronze Legion from the battlefield at the cost of the sacrifice of himself and his 3rd Black Iron Legion. On the general battlefield, when encountering a strong enemy, it is basically this kind of tactic of survival by docking the tail. Mo Sang held his head high, his gaze gradually became earnest, a man who dies for his confidant. He felt very honored to die for Fang Fan and fight to the death for his lord. He never thought that one day he would be able to personally participate in the destruction of the branch hall of the temple. The master's strategy and tactics gave him some unique and brand new feelings. In my military career, there has never been an incident of abandoning my robes. If you want to go, let's go together. If you want to die, die together. Who is more noble than whom? Commander Mozang Army, I am very grateful for your loyalty, but now I want to reject your loyalty. You should keep your body useful. Fight to the end. When we meet on a narrow road, the brave wins. Isn't it the unity of 2 bronze legions and an elite station? We may not be invincible if we fight with our backs. Our chances of winning are great. Fang Fan soared into the sky, his eyes scanned the surroundings, various thoughts boiled in his mind, his eyes gradually became sharp. Now what Fang Fan thinks of is that as long as the number of top experts in the enemy army is not too many, as long as everything is within the controllable range, there is a lot of room for manipulation. It's them. Kill. Kill them for me. No one will be left behind. Eradicate all the bright thugs who destroyed the temple branch. Leave no survivors. Fight to the end. Mo Caxi, the deputy 2nd rank acting cardinal of the Dark Temple, turned red, and suddenly shouted with excitement and urgency. At this moment, the thoughts in his heart are gradually taking off, and it is already difficult to contain the excitement in his heart. While roaring, the excitement also completely exploded. Hatred has been deeply ingrained in my heart, trying to clear it up is simply a dream, it is absolutely impossible. The roaring sound, the killing sound, the sound is in my ears. Fang Fan squinted his eyes and looked at the soldiers of the dark camp rushing over, then nodded secretly. It was beyond Fang Fan's expectation that these soldiers from the dark camp came so quickly, and the posture of this hasty march has been completely put on. After Fang Fan learned of the appearance of this group of soldiers from the dark camp, he directly ordered the 308 Bronze Legion, the Human Emperor Legion, and the Warrior Slave Legion, all to stay put and wait for work, ready to fight at any time. When the soldiers from the dark camp rushed over, they were exhausted after running for thousands of miles. One is waiting for work at leisure, and the other is exhausted. There will naturally be an equal gap between them. On this point, there is no doubt. There are about 50 strong people in the sanctuary. Most of them are 1-star and 2-star sanctuary realms. 3 members of the Sangxing sanctuary. And the cultivation level shown by the leader of the Dark Temple cultivator is, the 5-star sanctuary. Fang Fan took a breath, then glanced up and down at the lavender robe on his body, his eyes gradually fell silent. This person is extraordinary. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1688. Fang Fan still knows a little about the uniforms on the priests of the Dark Camp. It can only be said that it is not too different from the robes of the priests of the Temple of the Light Alliance. The lavender robes in the Dark Temple are generally only eligible to be worn by the acting Cardinal Dark God Envoy of the second rank. The second rank priesthood of the Dark Temple. It's a big fish. If you catch this big fish, plus the merits you have accumulated from destroying the branch of the Dark Temple before, it will definitely be no problem if you want to break the pattern and continue to advance to the priesthood level. Fang Fan secretly narrowed his eyes, the excitement in his eyes was beyond words. Seeing the strong attacking, but feeling excited, this operation is very strange. Annie, you are in charge of resisting a 3-star sanctuary cultivator from the enemy. Rahua, lead the Blood Shura army to use the army's exclusive skill Sura Unity to fight against a 3-star sanctuary of the enemy. The remaining 3-star sanctuary is fought by Huang Gan, Xiao Jinlong, and a group of heroes. Hot Spring, lead the 308th Bronze Legion to start a frontal battle. Unlock all the God Crystal Cannons and Star Nuclear Cannons on all battleships and warships. Launch a full-scale raid. Huang Shi, temporarily lead the Emperor's Legion and the Slaves' Legion to outflank from both sides. Guan Hai, lead the Yellow Turban Typing Warlock Legion to take full charge of sacrifice summoning skeleton soldiers and skeleton warriors to make up for the current loss. Low Heavy Machine Gun Corps, aim at the energy bank of the enemy warship, bombard. Fang Fan stood on the deck of the warship of gods and demons, calmly giving various orders. While speaking, his eyes became sharper. On the battlefield, no mistakes are allowed, and a slight mistake may result in tens of thousands of casualties, and even the defeat of the battle. In terms of military strength, Fang Fan does not have much advantage, and it can even be said that he has a lot of disadvantages. The lineup of the enemy army was directly displayed, almost twice the strength of Fang Fan's elite troops. So right now it can only be said that it is resisting, but it is still relatively difficult to cause a crushing situation. Even if there is no major change in the battle situation, as time goes by, Fang Fan's army will be gradually eroded. This is an established pattern, which seems helpless, but it is true. A little carelessness, blood collapse on the spot. My lord, the enemy has a 5-star sanctuary. Hao Yun swallowed a mouthful of saliva, showing a somewhat nervous expression on his face. Fang Fan didn't answer, his eyes glanced around. When he glanced at Bai Piao, Fang Fan paused deliberately. Bai Piao's body twitched immediately, and then he stared at Fang Fan in astonishment and said, "Don't think about me, you boy, labor and management don't want to be a blood bag anymore, it's too miserable, being volleyed, damn it, labor and management don't want to lose face." Bai Piao yelled, and then yelled secretly at the side. "Anyway, just say something that doesn't sound good. I'm not asking you to be a blood bag. It's for you to entangle the 5-star sanctuary powerhouse opposite me. It only takes a little time, let me operate it, and then while he's not paying attention, kill him with one blow. My silver armor puppet can only be used for more than a minute now." Fang Fan took a deep breath and said with urgent eyes. Dealing with 5-star sanctuary powerhouses naturally requires equal combat power to do so. And Fang Fan's 5-star sanctuary has only silver armored puppets. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1689. But to activate the silver armored puppet requires millions of star cores for 1 minute, the price is very high. The star cores in Fang Fan's hands can only be used by the silver armored puppets for more than a minute. That is to say, within a minute or so after the silver armored puppet is activated, the 5-star sanctuary powerhouse of the Dark Temple will be killed. Even if it is not directly killed, at least it must be severely damaged. Now let the silver armored puppet rush over like this. The opponent is prepared, so it is naturally difficult to attack, so Fang Fan thought of letting Bai Biao go first lure a wave, wait until the 5-star sanctuary powerhouse in the Dark Temple completely relaxes his guard. When the time comes, give him another wave of surprise attacks and kill him directly. This is Fang Fan's current overall plan and combat goal. Once you can achieve your wish, you will definitely get great rewards. Fang Fan took a deep breath, his eyes flickered with brilliance, such thoughts churned in his mind and gradually became real. For now, this is the best way. Let this envoy be used as bait. I'll go. This is not asking me to be a blood bag. Fang Fan boy, don't try to trick me, I've learned everything now, and I will never be tricked by your kid again. You cheated me again and again, won't your conscience hurt? Bai Biao said excitedly. Fang Fan. Can this be called a pit? This is obviously a win-win situation, okay. Everyone seeks a win-win situation together, isn't it good? Fang Fan curled his lips, and secretly complained from the side. At this moment, all aspects of the situation are still relatively serious. Bai Biao Angel. As the highest and most respected envoy of the human emperor's palace, don't you feel that you have a great responsibility? You know, every second you spend here, there are warriors who worship you fighting bloody battles. Do you have the heart to let them be under the rain of blood without helping them? Hey, if you really don't want to, then forget it. I will tell them what you really think when I turn back, so that they can feel how their most respected and admired Bai Biao Angel treats them. I originally wanted to add a sculpture to you in the Temple of the Rage God, so that the believers in the entire Temple of the Rage God will believe in you and take you as their example and pride. Now it seems that this plan is going to be temporarily shelved. As Fang Fan spoke, the expression of emotion on his face was beyond words. Fang Fan has always had a way of dealing with Bai Biao. This guy should care most about his face on weekdays. He wished that people all over the world would come over and regard him as an idol. This guy is flirtatious to the extreme. Okay, you kid, stop talking. Is it okay if I go as a bait? I go to be a blood bag. Damn it, Fang Fan boy, let's make an agreement. After finishing this vote, you will put my wax figure in the temple of the God of Desolation later, so that all my believers will follow suit. I will be able to collect a lot of power of faith soon. Hey, my followers. Bai Biao blinked, already caught in some kind of excited emotion. Fang Fan twitched his lips and pushed him out. Time is running out. In the distance, Mokashi, the deputy second-rank acting cardinal of the Dark Temple, is plundering everywhere. As a 5-star sanctuary practitioner, he has no opponents on this kind of battlefield. Seeing that his own army had completely won the victory, he couldn't help showing more ferocity on his face. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1690. Humph. How dare you destroy my branch hall? Today I will make you feel overwhelmed. Damn bastards. Destroy my future. I must never let it go. Kill. Only blood can reduce my anger. Mokashi clenched his teeth viciously, and the flashes of light in his eyes flickered frantically. Just as he was thinking, he suddenly saw a young man in a white robe wagging his tail at the dragon in front of him. Come on. Come on and hit me. Come on and hit me. You coward. Your fighting power is useless to me. Come here and tickle me. Yes. It's you, the guy in purple, don't hide, I've seen you. A series of yells followed, and Mokashi couldn't help but frown. Has he met a fool? Or is the melon seed in the head really a bit abnormal? This has been rambling, what are they talking about? Interested? Chick, squawk, isn't it over yet? Hee hee, it seems that I feel that I must die, so I act like a clown. Forget it, since you want to seek death, I will fulfill you. A ferocious look appeared on Mokashi's face. Thinking this way in his heart, he immediately rushed towards him, his speed getting faster and faster. He stretched out a hand, and then waved it lightly. In his opinion, he only needs to wave his hand, and he can directly kill Bai Biao with the help of the air wave. From his point of view, Bai Biao is a war scum who is not even in the quasi-sacred realm. Of course, he was right. Boom. With Mokashi waving his hand, Bai Biao's body could not help but fly around in the air, but finally returned to the original point, and launched an impact towards his position. Forward. Mokaxi blinked, looking a little surprised, but he didn't think too much about it. He just felt that Bai Biao's ability to resist blows was slightly stronger than that of ordinary practitioners. Go to hell. Mokashi swung the saber in his hand this time, slashing at Bai Biao viciously. Clang. Puff. There was a sound of metal colliding, and then Bai Biao spit out a mouthful of blood. His face was full of pain. Damn it, Fang Fan Kid really tricked me again, I became a blood bag again. Gritting her teeth, Bai Biao sighed silently in her heart, the routine is too deep. At this moment, Mokashi is completely stupefied. Didn't kill? Fine. No problem. How is this possible? The difference between this and what I imagined is simply not too big. Although I didn't use all my strength to swing the saber just now, I almost used 10% of my strength. With 10% of my strength, plus the weapon in hand, even a normal 1-star sanctuary level powerhouse can't hold on, how could? Mokashi blinked, and was already in deep surprise at this moment. Come on. Be merry. Go on. Grass. Just this little bit of strength. How about scratching your grandfather's itch? Go on. Let the storm come harder. Hurry up. Coward. Bai Biao stood up, although he continued to show hatred arrogantly. Damn it. And stare to shake trees. Today you will definitely die. Shadow Demon Kill. Mokashi, the acting cardinal of the Dark Temple, roared, and the aura on his body immediately burst out. Layers of air waves churned around, and then rushed out violently, and the aura gradually became stern and terrifying.